Hello and welcome to UGC channel. In this video, I will brief on some of the leading family law judgments occurred in recent years. Since you know that family law is an important unit for UGC NET exam, it's been a prime focus for this very exam. Whether if we talk about conceptual framework or the case laws, both aspects are very important for the exam. Hence, let's see the judgments. First case is Rajneesh versus Niha, and it's a case of year 2020, wherein the Supreme Court had framed guidelines with respect to issue of maintenance to wife and also with respect to the interim maintenance. Together with that, guidelines with respect to criteria for determining the quantum of maintenance and the date from which maintenance to be awarded, right? So it has actually provided guidelines with respect to the maintenance in entirety. Together with that, Supreme Court has also directed the courts to overcome overlapping of jurisdiction. Now, what is that? What is overlapping of jurisdiction? So, since you know that a Hindu wife can claim maintenance under different legislations like Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act, Hindu Marriage Act, CRPC, and Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. And each claim under these laws would be treated as separate and distinct, leading to multiplicity of proceedings. Hence, the spouse seeking maintenance must disclose to the court that if they have been awarded maintenance from a separate or previously instituted suit, right? So they must disclose it before the court. Why? So to avoid any kind of conflict arising out of this overlapping jurisdiction. Second case is Vinita Sharma versus Rakesh Sharma, and this case was also decided in year 2020. This is one of the most celebrated case under family law, right? So this case revolved around Section 6 of Hindu Succession Act, and the act was amended in year 2005, wherein the Supreme Court held that the amendment to Section 6 of Hindu Succession Act, it was retrospective in nature. It also held that the daughter had an equal right to the property by birth. Earlier, only sons were entitled to this right, but the judgment puts the daughter on par with the son. Right? Regardless of whether the father is alive or dead, the daughter is privileged in her own right. This is what was held in Vinita Sharma case. Third case is Mohammed Saleem versus Shamsuddhi, and it's a case of year 2019. See, in the instant case, marriage in question was an irregular marriage, or we call it as facade marriage, to which court held that the legal effect of a facade marriage is that in case of consummation, though the wife is entitled to get dower, but she is not entitled to inherit the properties of the husband. But the child born in this kind of marriages will be treated as legitimate, just like in a case of valid marriage. And that child will be entitled to inherit the property of the father. So this was held in case of Mohammed Saleem case. Next case is Amardeep Singh versus Harveen Kaur. Though it's a case of year 2017, but it's one of the landmark cases in the development of family law, as it clarified the issue of minimum period of 6 months, which is stipulated under Section 13B, Clause 2 of Hindu Marriage Act, which is a mutual consent provision. So for passing a decree of divorce, the period prescribed for waiting, which is 6 months, which is given under Section 13B, Clause 2, is not a mandatory provision, but it is directory provision. Last case is Rajat Nagmah versus Sujata, and it's a case of year 2020, right? So the court observed that the marriage in this case has taken place by a mere agreement between the fathers of husband and wife, not the husband and wife, but between fathers of husband and wife. Thus, the court held that such type of marriages are not valid because for a marriage to be valid, it needs to be in accordance with the provisions of Section 7 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. And it should include customs and ceremonies of either of the two parties and should include Saptapadi, which marks the completion of a marriage ceremony. Hence, these were some fresh and leading judgments under family law which are expected to come under UGC NET 2022 attempt. If you like the content, then do share and subscribe UGC channel.